Now that should work. That should work properly. So get the camera working, got that working, got that working. What? Camera working, got that working. Oh, that's what that is. Alright. Okay. 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 Wow. Actually, I'm actually glad I can do this now. Somewhat glad. What are we working on again? Obviously, I know what I'm working on. Um, Obviously, those some of y'all are 100% not gonna know what I'm working on, but I'm going to give y'all some insight on what I got going on or what I'm doing. Should I say what I'm doing? We're gonna do application, do music. I think I should be fine. Wait, I'm a little confused. So, am I allowed to use this or not? We're gonna see. Is this editing or can we do both? Is it reader mode? Alright, cool. Put it in reader mode down. Is there something wrong with this? Audio. What do you mean? Nope, it's definitely not me. I'm kind of curious to figure out what it is. But it could just be me. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's pop that open. Let's try that. Let's try this. Ah, dude, that's crazy. There we go. Okay, that worked. Microphone? No, it works. Okay, so audio doesn't want to work off of this no more? What the fuck? I literally just had that shit working. I don't want to deal with it either. I actually don't want to deal with it. So I'm not going to. But I'm gonna disconnect this. Real talk. As long as y'all can't hear too much. Alrighty, so pretty much what I've been doing is I have for the past like what time is it? Scan 30. For the past like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think 8 hours. I think 7 to 8 hours. I have been working on this right here. Crimson Skies. Let's go look at the header. A Mad King, the Scarlet Knight. And for those of y'all who do not know, let's go ahead and bring this right here to y'all so that y'all can see it. Actually, let me take that out of view so that way I don't have to. All right. Really? Brand new white t-shirt. Fuck it, I'll get more. Alright, so if I go over here, I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to go show you my playlist. So for my playlist on Faction Wars, I have a storyline that I'm trying to revitalize in the description. And not many people go to the descriptions, but when they do, they're going to see a nice storyline and they might be intrigued to read it. Then they read it and they're gonna be like, oh, every single video is like this and it has this good of storytelling. Alright, bet. So let me just give you a little view of what I did for what do you call it? For Kinsei. For his story time. It was a calm day in the land of the samurai. All went well. People were enjoying their day as they normally do. Sometime later that day, Kinsei, a former right-hand man to the previous Lord Orochi, had come to rise and was granted the honor to become the new Lord of the Samurai and the few inhabitants of Japan. Very soon after, not a week went by, a messenger was sent out to the land of Japan by Crow, and Kinsei found news of a former ally to the previous lord that was bound by blood. He also fought alongside these men when he was young. The news he had heard brought rage, sorrow, and excitement to his veins. The letter wrote, I'm not even gonna go further. If you're already reading this, you get it, right? So the story, it's good, right? And then some of the other I'm not no, I'm not gonna head ass. Some of the other storylines, like if I were to go to Orochi, right? Just dog water, pure dog water, pure dog water. Like that's just a bad story, right? Kinsei's has more depth to it. Then you have another one that I added depth to it, and then I was just like, am I just gonna make competitive videos? Yeah, I like making competitive videos, but then I found something that boiled inside of me when I was editing my description, and I was like, I have a niche for storytelling. Like ever since I was a kid, I before I would go to bed, I would just come up. Even sometimes, if I have a hard time falling asleep nowadays, I'll come up with this unbelievably detailed world in my mind. And it's like obviously you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't smell it, you can't feel it, but like you can imagine it, right? And this fantasy world is amazing. I've done so many different worlds throughout my entire lifetime up here that I told myself it ain't that hard to think of a full samurai story of a mad king, right? It's not that hard. It just takes some time. If I'm able to have a depressed day and sit in bed for hours on end in my head about a fantasy because I'm depressed, I can make a video and I can put in a storyline of something that I am attracted to. So I love For Honor. I love the game. I love the heroes, the characters in them. They're awesome. I mean, I'm a samurai faction guy. You have people who are Viking for life, and then you got the weird, odd people who are like knights. Which cool if you're a knight. I actually respect that. You're loyal as fuck, bro. If you're a knight faction, like you're loyal, dude. All right. But I've been playing it for so long that I know this game very well. I'm a beta player. I'm a beta tester. I know this game very well. So I I wanted to create something that would be my own signature stamp. And I was like, why not take the characters or the heroes from the game and just, even though don't have to take the heroes of the characters of the game and create from them, reality is my characters in my storyline are separate from the game. They're separate from them characters. They're just For Honor gave me the idea to go and make a medieval type of storyline that I can just put over gameplay, and I can even make gameplay that fits my storyline if I want to. So that would be also cool. So let me just go ahead and move forward with what I got going on. Yes, I have a lot of weird shit on my YouTube. You want to go through my YouTube with me and look at all my weird shit that I have? ASMR. Uh, if you don't have weird shit on your YouTube, you're not normal. You're not normal. You're not normal. That's funny. Hold up, let me go ahead and do this, and then pause. Alrighty, so it's taken me a long time just to get to where I'm at. I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm using Chat GPT to help me, because I don't know how to write a story. I was always really good when I was a kid and I would write stories, but the teacher would always say, hey, parentheses here, hey, this here, and this and this and that, and I was like, ah. Now I got Chat GPT for that. So let's move forward. Right, whatever this is. All right. This is where things kind of get a little juicy. I say they get a little juicy because, I mean, the story, I like the way the story starts. And I kind of want to add to it. And I'm going to add to it. I just don't know how I'm going to add to it. But it already sucks me in. And if it sucks me in, and I don't like reading books, but if it sucks me in, I know it's going to suck in the next person. It's going to get me intrigued. It's going to get me thinking, but let's go ahead and just go for that. I don't know why it still says the Dark Knight. It's supposed to be the Crimson Skies. Let's see right here. Go over here, hit that, and then I can't even do that. Anyways. Alright, I guess I'm gonna read this to y'all. Cold breezes brushed across a beautiful Friday afternoon. From the sight of a crow perched up on a high branch, laying off a cliff staring at the valley below, watched two figures stand before one another. As a heavy gust of wind blows by, the crow dives down to the field, flying right over the Scarlet Knight, then returns upon its perch. As the crow flies past, a wave of memories floods Scarlet's mind. A time when she trained with her father before the world turned so cruel. Scarlet said, "Father, would you like to go practice shooting some arrows with me for a hunt?" The father, "Of course, my darling, and after we can go roast a pig over the fires in the courtyard, which is if you can manage to kill one and bring it home," Scarlet said. "All right then, I'll make sure to shoot the fattest of them all." As soon as they went off to go shoot arrows, her father would be summoned to the infirmary for unknown reasons, but urgent ones at that. Little did Scarlet know her troubles would only get worse from here on out. After about an hour of practicing her archery, she went out on the hunt that she wanted to go out on with her father, but he had not made it back in time, so she left without him. Scarlet had been walking for some time now, taking care not to make too much noise as to not spook the wildlife. But with no pig and with daylight running out, she makes her way back home. As she arrives to the edge of the courtyard, her father stood at an assembly, watching as the peoples of their kingdoms accused their queen to being a witch, and burning her at the stake and impelling her from one end to another. Scarlet stood frozen, unable to move, staring at her father in hopelessness for letting this happen to her mother. She was practicing medicine and was accused of witchcraft. With her mind, I should rewrite that and put Scarlet. With Scarlet's mind filled with the past, her father, the man standing across from her, begs her not to go through with this. After shaking off her daydream of them, her father, "Please, please, my darling, they do not have to suffer too," Scarlet says. "One has to suffer to find themselves." Father, "No, one must go through adversity to find themselves." Scarlet, "Same difference. But you never got back up and tried. You can't sit here and give me advice about going through hard times. You just sat, drank, and let your people talk bad about us. Then you let other nations come and live here too, eat our food, drink our drink, fuck our women and men, and destabilize our nation. I will break our ways of living, Father, but this will start a war that will end all peace in the land." Scarlet, "You know nothing, Father. If you kill me and change everything, you will start a collapse of our nation." Scarlet, you did not do anything for her, for me, for our people. Nothing. I said nothing. I meant to say enough. My bad. I'm still getting used to the story. For people. Enough. She charges at her father, and that is when her true story starts. One seems to have an upper hand on the other, but blow for blow, with iron striking iron, sparks fly, and you can see the metal cool down as they fall to the ground and hit the floor. From their swords, discipline and training flow, from each strike to the other's blade, trading strike for strike. So does the day go. So, as well as the dang, bro, I cannot speak for Jesus. So does the day go, as well does the fight. Just when you think she's going to win, the father parries an attack. Quick and heavy, father's shoulder bashes her. while she dodges and encounters with two light strike, finishing her combo with a heavy strike from the top, but it's quickly evaded. Like a real life chess match, they do not stop until the king falls. Looking away into the sunset, at some point you hear a caw of the crow and quickly turn your head. While Scarlet is standing, her father is on his knees, looking back at the crow's eyes, looking down, zooming in onto Scarlet. You said war? You said war isn't the answer. But what do you know about war? Blood and sweat drip from her scalp, running off her nose and chin as she stares at her father. I have your fucking arm. How's that for war? She stands, fury boiling in her veins, gripping his severed arm as she approaches him, her steps heavy with madness. My darling, His last words die in air before he can finish them. Scarlet kicks him sprawling to the ground. She beats him with his own arm, the sound of metal against flesh echoing through the battlefield. I, my darling, her voice breaks as she laughs hysterically, the last of her sanity slipping away with each echoing breath. Out in the distance, a male figure starts to walk towards Scarlet. Scarlet. Honey, we won! We fucking won! Abyss, her lover, was has been watching the whole time, waiting just in case. Abyss. Hell yeah! What a fight you had. I didn't think he would have held on for that long. Scarlet. Oh no, he's just gotten older. He would have won if it was 5 years ago. Abyss. Yeah, you're probably right. Anyways, off with his head. We still need proof anyways. Oh wait, messed that part up anyways. Scarlet, duh, we need proof. How else am I going to be the queen? By giving myself to a brothel? Abyss, nope, that is mine. Scarlet, shut up. I swear all men got on their mind is pussy and beer. Abyss, blah blah, men this, men that. You shut up. Scarlet, oh yeah, I shut up. Do you want your head to be the one that I take back to the court? Abyss, nope, I'll shut up. Scarlet, good boy. Now help me cut off my father's head. That's fucked, bro. That is just fucked. Okay. For me, a beginner typer writer, I think that's pretty good. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and continue to keep editing on that while I'm on stream. I'm going to going back and forth from inspiration from the descriptions from my other videos, and then I'm going to then go in here, and I'm also going to use Chat GPT just to fine tune my parentheses, or what is not parentheses, my punctuation. There you go. Punctuations to help me with keeping the reader in the zone, or them wanting to keep reading. So like, yeah, it starts off pretty strong. Like obviously, I like the way I started, because like I was thinking about it. I was like, so my whole theme of the videos is I want a storyline in the description of all the factions on For Honor fighting each other. But then I was just like, all right, well, I want to make a video. Okay, well, let me go ahead and make a video, or let me make a video based off of a genuine story time. Like not just like, oh, I'm gonna write a little tiny story, and then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna have a little story time. No, I mean, I'm being serious. Like I'm on TikTok, right? I'm scrolling through TikTok and I'm enjoying it, right? I'm enjoying going through TikTok, just relaxing, and then I've come across this Reddit, and I'm like, okay, and then I'm like, oh, that's a good Reddit story. That's a good Reddit story, right? I was like, wow, man. I love watching the Minecraft and them in the background and jumping from one obstacle to the other, and then I hear like some stupid story about how my brother did this or like my sister did that, or like my aunt like took my car or something like that, and I'm like, oh, these are good storylines, and a lot of these are realistic stories, right? And then sometimes I'll come across like some fictional story, and I'm like, dude, this is actually kind of cool. I mean, it's not real. It's obviously not real. It's made up, right? Like some drama made up story. But I'm like, this is a decent made up story from Reddit. Let me go ahead and make gameplay, and then that same game and their characters. Let me just make a story based off of medieval characters. And I was like, all right, cool. What do I start with? Am I gonna have all my stories on my channel playing together? Okay, we can do that. All right, so then how are we gonna do this? So from my channel, I go into my playlist and I go to the faction wars. The faction wars is the current war setting, the war to end all wars type of shit inside that those playlists. Then you have this right here, the beginning to the what should have been the first, but it's like watching Game of Thrones and then now you're gonna go watch the House of Dragons, right? This is like what this is. Right? This is not the fall of what is that? I forgot. House of Atreides. Is that the one with like the water one? Like I don't know. But like this is like the war before the war, right? This is she Scarlet, the Scarlet Knight is supposed to be like a Apollyon in my story, right? Like she's supposed to come and make moves, right? And then the next person, which this next person is just unbelievably goaded, right? So the true and Mad King, 'cause like it's a Mad King, the Scarlet Knight, right? Like when I look at it and I see that, I see a Mad King and a tail of a Scarlet Knight, right? And so the Mad King isn't necessarily the Scarlet Knight, and the Mad King isn't necessarily the other knight or the individuals after that. It's a story that is enveloped throughout all kings. I had this thought process of war, and I was just thinking war, crying. Like in my head, I'm just like sorrow, right? It's like war, and then I kind of like got myself into the mindset of how does um how does one individual um which is one man, go from being this child to being a teenager to being a young man to then being an emperor or a king and going to war and just decimating people, right? Like I wondered. And so I sat there and I thought of myself and I just like my head went to the most darkest place possible and I was like, that's a virus, bro. That's not normal. Like to be a king, to be an emperor, you gotta be one dark motherfucker, bro. You gotta be one crazy, wicked motherfucker. And so then I was like, oh, every king is mad. You can have a just king, but every king ends up becoming mad, whether they show it or not. They all end up going that way. They all end up some way, one shape or another, being bent to somebody else's will, or they end up their mind ends up becoming more corroded, or their thought process is always like on edge or whatever it is. There's a virus of the mind when it comes to war, and it usually plagues the kings, right? Because now the king has to look over his shoulder. Is he gonna get poisoned, right? So the Mad King, that's where it comes from. It's the Mad King, and it's not just one Mad King, but it's all the Mad Kings, right? So right now we're telling the story of the Mad King, but she's not a king. She's a queen, right? But it's the story of the wars of what how it affects the individuals, right? But it's all fictional too, right? But it has some nonfiction in there, like obviously like PTSD, like there's some hard emotion in there, like I mean, there's some hard emotion, bro. Like, there's some hard emotion, dog. Look. Okay. We're gonna go to we're gonna go to we're gonna go to my Kinsei, and I'm gonna show you this storyline in comparison to what I got going on. Shut up, real quick. Just shut up, real quick. So, because it gets good, right? I want people to have that feeling towards the character, right? So this the where is it at? Is it even this one? Is it that one? This is Orochi's. Let's go to the next one. I want people to feel the energy and and the aura behind what of the story development. So let me just give you, okay. The news that he had heard brought rage and sorrow and excitement to his veins. The letter wrote, "My brother Orochi, I spare no lack of detail. I went on voyage to seek peace in the Chinese province. With great success we ate, got drunk, and my men had their fill of many kinds. And within that wonderful land, we had began to set sail to the land in which I call home, but to my desolation the land in which I call home was laid to ruins. My wife, my child, dead in the burning embers of our town hall, surrounded by my fallen brothers that we once fought alongside and for. Once I came to your aid and pact, as was stated in our agreement. Now I summon you not as to our pact, but as a father and as a husband who knows no loss like no other. I remember our stories we shared by the fire of those cold nights in our previous conquest. Just the same they've come to kill, steal, and destroy. Yet I do not know the cause of their wrongdoing, but mark my words, they will reap what they have sown. I wait for you in the same place our people gathered in our last wars." So that's somewhat like I'm not good at storytelling, so obviously you got some of those where you're like, that seems fragmented a little bit. Yeah, because it is. But the emotion, like, bro, you calling on an old homie from one of your old war because like you come home and your brothers and your wife and your child dead in your town hall. Like, what the fuck, bro? My heart. I feel bad for him, and I made this character up. I really feel real bad. I want to cry for him. It's like his family's gone. So that's what I want people to feel. And so when you get close to Scarlet in this story, you're gonna realize you're gonna be, oh yeah, she is not right. What is wrong with that mind? But then you're like, ah, okay, okay, I see you. So I wanna lure people in. I want to genuinely lure people in with this character, and I am only on season and only not season chapter one. What I like about this part though is that she has this. I actually wrote it down as a note right here. It's like, okay, Scarlet becomes queen, fights with her father. Um, Her lover watches the battle. Her mother died in the past. She's a trouble-minded person. The church could not help her, nor did the states, because she is mad. She's crazy. But she finds love, and love tames her madness, and she becomes this good king or queen. She becomes this good queen, right? And so then, somewhat good queen, but then it's like something happens, and it just, you know, tears her, brings her right back to it. I gotta make it hit, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and yeah. Put that note there. Okay, the mic work. Okay. But the headphones don't want to work though. What's going on, bucko? Hello? I just want to vibe and do my work at the same time. Come on, brother. And I'll never last forever. I said, okay, 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 okay. Okay. So if you're not gonna let me do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Keep the mic on like that, and then I'm gonna put on my playlist. And actually, I'm gonna go back to dark jazz. I need to read this dialect again. No, shut up. Be good. Best, fine, fine. How do you want it, Scarlet? I don't know. I don't care. Just do it already. With daylight coming to an end, Abyss chops off the king's head, puts it in an old bag, and mounts his horse. Abyss, my love, are you what? Are you just gonna stand there? What the fuck did that? That don't make no sense. Oh, okay, that does make sense. Are you just about ready to make way? Scarlet, yes, honey, just cleaning up the blaze. I hate when they start to have rest. I hate when they start to rest. When they start to rest. Abyss, come on then, I don't got all day. Scarlet, you're always in a damn rush. We're about to rule a kingdom. Can you have a little patience? Abyss, just hurry. I'm also hungry. Scarlet, okay, okay, I'm done. She says while mounting her horse. She says while mounting her horse, heading back to the palace she once called home. Homeless man. Hey, hey, you on the horse. Scarlet turns her head towards the man on the ground. Scarlet says, what is it? What is it that you want? Homeless man says, would you be so kind to bless me with some bread if you are willing and able to? Scarlet, you loathsome filth. What makes you think you can get anything from anyone? But go work and eat. But little did she know he was crippled. Scarlet, still you asked, and God is just. Here, take my bread, and give to another when in need. As Scarlet and Abyss make their way to the courts, they were stopped again, and one said, Homeless man too, it is you, the one I saw in a dream, under the crimson moon with the king's head in your hands. Scarlet, aye, it is me, the daughter of him whom I slain, and have brought down with my own sword. That sounds good. With my sword or with my own? With my own sword sounds good. Not bad, yo. Not bad, people. Alright, keep thinking. We're still on chapter. We're still on chapter 1, which is actually kind of good. A good, decent chapter 1 is actually really good. And it's what I'm guessing it's 1 page, 2, 3. I think it's 3.5 pages. That's good. That's good. So I'm thinking, all right. So she's getting stopped, right? Her and Abyss are walking down the courts, right? They're walking down the courts, or not the courts, but they're walking down the alleys to get to the palace, right? And so going over there to present the head of the king to the courts, and since she is regardless rightful heir to the throne, um, She just wanted it right then and there, so she just took his head. Yada yada. She's a psychopath. So we're making our way to the palace, and there are people everywhere. While she's making her way through the main corridors, what does corridor mean? What is the what is the road leading to the palace? To a palace. Road leading to a palace. But what is it called? The mall. The mall. No. No, I'm not talking about that palace. I'm talking about like just. This is funny. I guess it's okay. So it's a road. Let's just call it a road. So she's made it past the gates, right? She's already made it past. Oh no, she hasn't even made it past the gates. Has she gotten to the gates yet? Alright, I'm gonna reread this. Because I want to see it. I want to feel it. I want to feel the action. I want to feel it. Y'all ready? I want to feel it. I want to get a feel of what I should write next. Cold breezes brushed across a beautiful Friday afternoon. From the sight of a crow perched up on a high branch, laying off a cliff staring at the valley below, watched two figures stand before one another as a heavy gust of wind blows. The crow dives down to the field below, flying right over the scarlet night, then returns upon its approach. As the crow flies past, a wave of memories floods Scarlet's mind. A time when she trained with her father before the world turned so cruel. Scarlet said to her father, "Father, would you like to go practice shooting arrows with me for a hunt?" Father said, "Of course, my darling. And after we'll go roast a pig over the fires in the courtyards. Which is, if you can manage to kill one and bring it home." Scarlet said, "Alrighty. Then I'll go make sure to shoot the fattest one of them all." As soon as they went off to go shoot arrows, her father would be summoned into the infirmary for unknown reasons, but urgent one at that. Little did Scarlet know her troubles would get only worse from here on out. After about an hour of practicing her archery, she went out on a hunt. She went out on the hunt she wanted to go out with her father on, but he had not made it back in time. So she left without him. Scarlet had been walking for some time now, taking care not to make too much noise as to not spook the wildlife, but with no pig and daylight running out, she makes her way back to the courtyard. Or back home. As she arrived to the edge of the courtyard, her father stood at an assembly watching as the peoples of her kingdom accused the queen of being a witch. She was then burned and then staked, and she was then burned on the stake and impaled from one end to another. Scarlet stands frozen, unable to move, staring at her father in hopelessness for letting this happen to her mother. She was practicing medicine and was accused of witchcraft. With her mind filled with the past, her father, the man standing across from her, begs her not to go through with this. After shaking out of her daydream of them, Father says, "Please, my darling, they do not have to suffer too." Scarlet says, "One has to suffer to find themselves." The father says, no, one must go through adversity to find themselves. Scarlet says, same difference, but you never got up and tried, so you can't sit here and give me advice on going through hard times. You just sat, drank, and let your people talk bad about you. Then you let other nations come, invade, live here, come and invade, and live here. Eat our food, drink our drink, fuck our men and women, and destabilize our nation. I will break all your ways of living, Father, but this will start a war that will end all peace in the land. Scarlet, you know nothing. Father, if you kill me and change everything, you will start the collapse of our nation. You didn't do anything for her, for me, for your people, but I will. Enough. She charges at him, at the father. Hit us. She charges at her father, and that is when her true color starts to show. One seems to have an upper hand on the other, but blow for blow, with iron striking iron, sparks fly bright. You can see the metal cooling down as they fall onto the ground. From their swords, discipline and training flow, from each strike to the other's blade, trading strike for strike. So does the day go, as well as does the fight. Just when you think she's going to win, the father parries an attack. Quick and heavy, father's shoulder bashes her, while she dodges and counters with two light strikes, finishing her combo with a heavy strike from the top. But it's quickly evaded, like a real-life chess match. They do not stop until one of them falls. Looking away into the sunset, at some point you hear a craw of a crow, and quickly turn your head. While Scarlet is standing, her father is on his knees, looking back at the crow's eyes. Zooming in on Scarlet. You said war isn't the answer, but what do you know about war? Blood and sweat drip from her scalp, running off her nose and chin as she stares at her father. I have your fucking arm, how's that for war? She stands, fury boiling in her veins, gripping her severed arm. As she approaches him, her steps heavy with madness. My darling, his last words die in air before he can finish them. Scarlet kicks him sprawling to the ground. She beats him with his own arm. The sound of metal against flesh echoing through the battlefield. I, my darling, her voice cracks as she laughs hysterically, the last of her sanity slipping away with each echoing breath. Out in the distance, a male figure starts to walk towards Scarlet. Scarlet, honey. Wait, but fucking shit. Scarlet. Honey, we won. We fucking won. Abyss, her lover, has been watching the whole time, waiting just in case. Abyss. Hell yeah. What a fight you had. I didn't think he would have held on for so long. For that long. Scarlet. Oh, no, he hasn't gotten older. The fucking shit, dude. Trying to be fluid with it is kind of difficult. Scarlet. Oh no, he's just gotten older. He would have won if it was 5 years ago. Abyss. Yeah, you're probably right. Well off with his head. Well, fuck, that doesn't make sense. I need to adjust that. Well off with his head. We need proof. Scarlet, duh, we need proof. How else am I going to be queen? By giving myself up to a brothel? Abyss. Nope, that's mine. Scarlet. Shut up. I swear all men got on their minds is pussy and beer. Abyss. Blah blah, men this and men that. You shut up. Scarlet. Oh yeah, I shut up. Do you want your head? Do you want it to be your head? To be going back to court? Can't get it right, bro. The argument style. That's funny. Abyss. No, I'll shut up. Scarlet. Good boy. Now, this is so fucked, bro. Scarlet. Good boy. Now let me cut off my father's head. Abyss. Fine, fine. How do you want it? Scarlet. I don't know. I don't care. Just do it already. With daylight coming to an end, Abyss chops off the king's head, puts it into an old bag, and mounts his horse. Abyss. My love, are you just about ready to make way? Scarlet. Yes, honey, just cleaning the blades. I hate when they start to rust. Abyss. Come on then, I don't got all day. Scarlet. You're always in a damn rush. We're about to rule the kingdom. Can you have a little patience? Abyss. Just hurry. I'm also hungry. Fucking shit ass like this. Just hurry. I'm also hungry. Scarlet. Okay, I'm done. She says while mounting her horse, heading back to the palace she once called home. Homeless man. Hey, you there on the horse. Scarlet turns her head towards the man on the ground. Scarlet. What is it that you want? Homeless man says, would you be so kind to bless me with some bread if you would be willing and able to? Scarlet. You loathsome filth. What makes you think that you can get anything from anyone? But go work and eat. But little did she not know? No, I'm gonna have to readjust that. Little did she know he was crippled. Scarlet. Still, you asked, and God is just. Here, take my bread and give to another when they're in need. As Scarlet and Abyss make their way to the courts, they were stopped again, and one said, homeless man number 2 said, it's you, the one I saw in a dream, under the crimson moon, with the king's head in your hands. Scarlet. Aye, it is me, the daughter of him whom I've slain and have brought down with my own sword. Oh my gosh, okay, this is getting good. And this is like it's weird how it's like just like the only beginning to the story. Like it's really it's like it's an adult story, that's for sure. It's not meant for kids. It's not meant for the faint of heart because it's graphy, bro. It's 100% graphy. It's 100% graphy. And I'm gonna ask ChatGPT what they thinks about the story, right here, and we'll see what ChatGPT has to say about it. And that is just kind of like my hey buddy. All right, chat. I'm literally wrapping up. Literally, I'm wrapping up chapter 1 right now. I want to introduce her main freaking protagonist, but I don't want to introduce him in chapter 2 yet because then that's just it's too quick. You know, it's chapter 2. I don't want it to be a short novel, nor do I want it to be a quick novel. I mean, a short novel, nor do I want it to be a completely long novel, and I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh. But, yeah. Alright, so, medieval. Evil. Okay, hold up. Medieval story with Mid-level, medieval. I don't even know what to see. Okay. How about this? Okay. All right. Now that I asked you that question, everything else comes from this. Copy. Wow. Okay. That's quite a lot. Press this. Press copy. Come over here. ChatGPT. Who wants to see what ChatGPT said? Let's see what ChatGPT said. 3, 2, 1. Hit it. That would have been close. Yes. Alright, now we should be fine. Paste. Alright. This story is a dramatic and intense narrative with powerful themes of vengeance, betrayal, and ambition. To refine and elevate it into a polished piece of writing, here are a few suggestions for improvement. Stature and pacing. Break the text into clearer paragraphs or sections to improve readability and pacing. This will help the reader follow the progression of events without being overwhelmed. Roger that. Introduce chapter-like breaks or dilations between past. Introduce chapter-like breaks or dilations between past and present to give readers context about when or where the story is taking place. I need to learn how to do that. Dialogue. Enhance the dialogue to make it more natural and reflective of the characters' personalities and relationships. Use dialogue tags. She replied, her reply, he replied, okay. Jealousy to clarify who is speaking when necessary. And, okay. Got you, okay. Alright. I'm going to go on a small little break, y'all. I am going to go on a small little break. I need to use the restroom and I'll be right back. Ooh. Yeah, no. It's actually kind of getting late, guys, and I would love to sit here and continue to keep progressing on my story. I'm not even done. I have like if I go over here and I pull out ChatGPT, I'm not even like I gotta fine tune this, and then this is gonna go from chapter one and then chapter two, and then I probably got like 40 or 50 different chapters I gotta write, and that's gonna be like 40 or 50 different videos. So that's gonna be a whole book on its own. But if I just chase this and because I love stories, man. Oh, man, a good story will make you fall in love. I mean, I fall in love with characters all the time. Like I'm like, God, damn, these characters are really good. So, um, what do you call it? I'm going to do my very best to continuously keep trying to develop this storyline, and I want to actually add another book on top of this. So I'm probably gonna do that afterwards. So I'm gonna wrap this around. Beginning of the video I was explaining how some of my playlists are called Faction Wars, and they have stories on those. And all those Faction Wars, the story, the ones that have the stories on them are going to be the ones that I'm going to be working on and finalizing, I guess you can say. So, uh, this is like a prequel story to the story that I'm working on. So I'm working on like the Dark Knights. I'm working on the the Road to Valhalla. I'm working on the Fall from Divinity and stuff like that. All of the stuff. And they all those character storylines play into the faction war storyline, the war to end all wars. And now this is the prequel. This is like the catalyst of why the War of All Wars is starting. So this book that I'm dropping is going to be the main catalyst of the war, the faction wars, the Mad King, a Mad King, the Scarlet Knight, and so I just want to make it as good as I can, and if possible, multiple different uh multiple different books covering multiple different videos. Like I said, I want this. So this is I'm not even done with the first chapter. I'm gonna do a little read along before I head out, but it's not even the first chapter's not even done. But after this, um, I'm hoping that I have at least, like I said, 40 or 50 chapters, so that way I can have 40 or 50 different videos, and then y'all can just sit there and listen to the AI take the whole story, and y'all can have gameplay in the background, and then I can just start on a new book. I want to keep the book title name though, A Mad King. I want to keep a Mad King in there, but change the kings. Like, so the Scarlet Knight, she's a queen, but status is king, right? Right. She's the only female royalty, like emperor or like status like that. So the Scarlet Knight is the only one who has that type of get, and then the rest are just guys. So I wanted to start her off with a bang, but she's also like the catalyst to why everything happens, and she has like the poorest story development because every action that she's basing on is based off of a psychotic action. She's mental. She's literally mental. She's supposed to be a mental fighter. She's like dumb. Like not dumb, but she's just like she is a she excels in combat, and she's really good in strategic combat, but everything else when it comes to like how to like spiritually grow or like educationally or like life, no, she sucks. Like she's like not built for life at all, but she is built for war, and she is built for ruling. So that's why I wanted to make her this way. This is why I put in my notes right here. She was a troubled child. She was a troubled kid. So the Scarlet Knight is a troubled kid, but she has the ability to lead and she has the ability to rule and to reign on other people, on other countries and nations. So that's why she's the catalyst, right? She's like the Apollyon of the story. Um, that's interesting. Anyways, that whole the Scarlet Knight situation in the beginning is gonna change. So not it's gonna change. Like how do I explain it? I cannot speak English right now. It's gonna change slowly. But so yeah. Anyways, that little oh did it just lag spike out? Alrighty.